We encourage everyone to view and listen to the virtual presentation of the local agency officials of Candara on their statement of support to Ramon Diaz National High School this opening of classes on October 5 and onwards, especially that summer division employs modular distance learning modality to all schools, including this school.
Community quarantine is hereby imposed in the entire of Metro Manila and in other areas.
Sumampa na sa mahigit 260,000 ang COVID-19 cases sa bansa.
Tumataas pa rin ang mga cases natin.
The country once again breaks its record for a single-day spike in new COVID-19
Kaya po nang
cases.
inyong narinig, tuloy-tuloy ang pagragasa ng coronavirus disease o yung COVID-19 sa buong mundo.
Mahigit 100 bakuna na kasalukuyang dinidevelop sa iba't ibang bansa.
The COVID-19 pandemic almost led the world to tumble into its knees, resulting to a catastrophic loss of lives with almost 1 million deaths, a massive loss of jobs of almost 1.6 billion workers around the world, and bring the global economy to the brink of almost collapse. In the Philippines, sectors of the government are overwhelmed due to the ravaging infection among its employees, and made the pandemic an enormous challenge for everyone to deal with, whether a slightly affected sector or the severely one.
One of the most affected sectors of our society by this pandemic is the education sector, whereby all students, parents, and teachers are now facing hardships on how things will be going well to get the desired education, in spite of the presence of this enemy.
In dealing with the pandemic, Ramon Diaz National High School is not exempted. In fact, the school has been a quarantine facility since the Balik Provincia program started, intended for the locally stranded individual or LSI who are potentially carrying the virus coming from the National Capital Region, the most affected region of the country.
Dahil kilala naman talaga at mga teacher natin nila, igino-offer naman na nila barangay halls or the kaya ang daycare center nila nga diri ginagamit kung ang eskwelahan na currently BIU.
Meanwhile, the entire teaching approaches need to undergo an overhaul to meet the standards set in the new normal in accordance with the recommendation of the Department of Education to ensure the safety of the students.
haungod la ako mismo diri pagud ako kumbinsido iton nga mga sistema nga hihimuon ang DepEd para la maipadayon it pag-aram hit kabataan. Pero anakong karuyag signon ipaabot ngadto mga kaganat nga tapod la kita hit atong gobyerno, tapod kita hit Department of Education kay natugod kita nga diri ibubutang peligro in aton mga anak.
During this pandemic, participation of the parents or guardians in the learning process is very much anticipated, since they are the only person who can guide their children in the absence of face-to-face sessions. They also have to carefully monitor each of the learning modules to ensure that the learning is attained by the child.
So, anak ko luwaton talawat hangyo nga tohan mga kag-ana nga ayaw kita hingkahulog. Ipadayon ta ang pag-aram hang kabataan bisan pa man kun pandemic kita kay kinahanglan ini hang kabataan. Makuri man nga aton hirapukan, aton hirapon depensahan kay may urhirahan pag-aradman hiniya nga panahon.
Ang ginahangyo na amon opisina, madahan mga kaganak, nga i-supervise, tagan hin importansya, ang suporta, nganhin pagtutok, nga ini nga kabataan, magtrabaho han mga module o mag-study han mga module na ginhahatag kairan mga maestra. Kay hini nga paagi, tidak naton mabubuligan ang kabataan nga mahipadayon ang era pag-eskwela.
In an instant, traditional way of teaching and learning process is replaced by different modalities that turn the teacher and the students away from facing each other to avoid the virus transmission.
There will be no face-to-face sessions, and sessions will not be limited to online sessions alone. This is because we have adopted a policy of blended learning wherein various modalities are being recommended depending on the situation at the level of the region and of the school.
In a place like Gandara in the island of Samar, where most of its population walks in a simple way of life, sufficient internet connectivity isn't available in the most of its territorial jurisdiction. That makes the online learning modality next to impossible. That is why the DepEd Samar Division has resorted to modular distance learning, the only option left on the table.
Magiging challenging good para han DepEd kay kung mag-online, natural, equipments, diri nga tanan, bisan lang ani ang signal, dinhiabong to, nga ako niya naging paniguruan niya na, nga nakisabot kita Department of Communication, nga i-focus ang aton signal dinhini nga stage, kay para mabuligan tayo mga taga-DepEd, nga maka-avail naton internet.
Didi DRR, ang atong ginhimo barangay, gino-orient naton ang barangay officials, pinaagang DDR rin o nga inihira, diri magpasibaya para hanira obligasyon nga buligan ang komunidad, labi naton mga estudyante, nga diri kurian hiniya nga pandemya, nga diri mahadlok.
Nowadays, protection is a must for every one of us. That is why observing the proper hygiene and following the minimum health protocol are the cheapest but the best way to combat against the COVID-19.
Pero may good hand washing please. Kaya kung siyempre baryo, limitado ang resources, waray alcohol, mga barangay, damo ang tubig, may sabon naman la, bisan itira diri branded nga mga sabon, kung ano lang mahimo nga sabon. Di ba nasa rin kita nga magkantahan happy birthday, pero may da kasi mga kuan, kumbaga may mga technique. Hindi man leto na sugat-sugat la, may da pa dapat pagsugat, sugat-sugat. Para nga tanan nga, martihan akong mahugasan.
Una, anamon lang kailangan minimum health protocol na siyempre. Dapat mask, tumatlo, wearing and face mask, permanente. Tapos, ikuan natin social distance. Tapos, permanente maglilimpyo natin hygiene. Hugas ang kamot, alcohol, para malikayan. Matapnan kita ito.
To our children, education is the key to success in the days to come. Without it, survival could be lethal for their inability to attain the minimum requirements that will allow them for a decent living.
On behalf of Gandara Fire Station, I, SFO4 Chanti Castillo, your Municipal Fire Marshal, would like to assure the public, especially the Ramon Diaz National High School students, parents, teachers, and school heads, that your firefighters are just here to help you and feel you secured from the danger of destructive fires and from any disaster and other calamities where your friendly firemen can be of help.
Pinagigihaponan ira DRR Fund, no, nag-aalot taga kita para makabulig ngadtohan mga estudyante nga makapalit ng mga hygiene kits. May distributor ira ngan kung paano liwat gamiton.
Kami, ang part ng PNP, gina-assure namon o kapatapos namon na kami nasuportahan na iyo, mga teachers, ang mga kaganak, estudyante.
To successfully apply the said modality in learning, major stakeholders such as the local government unit and the Department of Interior and local government are willing to provide assistance to speed up the distribution of the learning modules.
Amon ginsusuportahan ang programahan Ramon Diaz National High School bahin hini nga new normal activities sa aton pag-aradman nga tahan kabataan.
Nga tanan nga makakayahan ang LGU nga kikinahanglanon hit Ramon basta makakaya lahan finances o ano paman andam lokal nga panggobyernuhan nga i-extend ngadto hit management hit Ramon Diaz National High School.
Ako kaupo danapon na personnel ha DRR o gan volunteer kami ay naghahatag hin 100% nga partisipasyon pagbulig ngadto eskwelahan para maligyan kini nga pandemya aton kalibungan.
Education can continue, COVID or no COVID, tragedy or no tragedy, disaster or no disaster. The children are asking to go back to school, and we will listen to them.
Along with the different sectors, stakeholders, dear parents, and the people of Gandara, Ramon Diaz National High School can continuously provide quality education to our students because even in a crisis like this, there is a hope in the midst of pandemic.